Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. And on this week's episode, we finished Kill Bill. This week we watched Kill Bill Volume 2, the 2004 action, crime, thriller written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Uma Thurman, David Carradine, Michael Madsen, and Daryl Hannah. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and alongside me is the cousin Benny. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Cuz how you doing?
Fantastic. As always, thank you for asking. Much appreciated.
Glad to hear
And
it.
alongside me and Benny, one of our co-hosts and good friend, Ryan. How we doing?
I'm living. That's all I got. I'm surviving. How are you?
Same, day by day.
Day by day. Yeah, so like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch, where we to come up typically with some kind of a theme. The past 2 weeks has been Badass Woman's Week, and the fans voted for Kill Bill Volume 1. So we figured we gotta watch Volume 2. Um, Normally it's movies that one or all of us haven't watched before, but we could do whatever we want. This is our show. So we'll put up a poll on Instagram. Make sure you're following us there to vote. And get involved in the conversation. Send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Whether it's about this episode, a future episode, or I don't know, give us some suggestions. This week and last week were brought on by a fan saying we should do like a badass woman's week. So we did it. It's easy as that. We can't
One
make
t-
it any easier, I don't
yeah,
think.
one text message, 2 weeks worth of content.
I mean, whether that's good content or bad content, we don't know. That's for you to
Comment
decide.
below.
Yes. And please follow us wherever that button is on YouTube if you're watching it. So, I think just Benny didn't watch Volume 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, there were a couple scenes I remembered, but I definitely never sat down and watched this whole movie.
All right. And Robbie, you've already seen Volume 2, right?
I have, yes.
Okay. So I guess let's start like how we always start. Benny, what'd you think about going into this film? Now, I know it's a little bit different this week because you saw Volume 1. So you probably had some ideas, but what were you thinking about going into this?
Obviously coming off last week, I was super excited to see this one. I think the first one does such a good job leaving you wanting more. And it's just such a fun movie that, I mean, how could you not be excited to see how this whole thing plays out? And if the bride, spoiler alert, we get her name in this movie, we get her the finality of the revenge tour.
Not much better than a revenge tour.
Please.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm getting one started against the Cuz coming up pretty soon.
What? What did he do?
Don't worry. We know. Won't leave me alone.
Because he loves you, I
We'll see
think.
about that.
That's me?
Yeah, is it another
Yeah,
cuz?
but no, you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I did. Probably being a loyal friend, I guess. That's what constitutes revenge nowadays. But I'm here for it.
Nothing like a good revenge war.
If you guys had to have a wrestling match, would it be Hell in the Cell, Money in the Bank, or a straight just brawl?
It would be a buried alive match because I never want
Oh,
to see him again once I win.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I gotta start training. I wasn't prepared for I was prepared for a Greenwich Street fight, but I guess that's out of the window, I guess.
You got the Mean Street Posse coming?
Oh yeah, I got who was it? I forgot their names, but I got the mean shit ready to go. What a fan. I mean I can go an hour and a half on those guys, but
I know,
I
please.
digress. I forgot their
um,
names. Now I gotta look them up.
that's okay. Well, while you're looking up the Mean Street Posse, um, I guess I'll start with overall impressions and then we'll see where we go. So, um, overall impressions of Kill Bill 2. Did you find out?
Yeah, I got Pete Gas, Rodney, and Joey Abs.
Oh man.
What a time to be alive, really.
What what a posse.
Oh my God, the meanest.
Um, yeah, overall impressions of volume two. I did not enjoy watching it that much this time.
Really?
I liked it. I mean, it's a Tarantino movie. I still like it. I like all his films, but volume one I enjoyed way more. And I was shocked because leading up to this, I always loved both of them. I was just like, yeah, one and two. I think I like volume one a little bit more, but I still really like volume two. And this watch through, I don't know. It wasn't hitting. Like there was a number of scenes that I was kind of like, nah, I mean, there's a bunch of really cool scenes that I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, like I liked it, but it wasn't I didn't enjoy it as much as Volume 1, like even close. Volume 1 I really enjoyed watching 2 weeks ago, and this week, a little bit of a struggle, which is surprising. I'm surprised. So I guess the new revenge tour is against me, based on your faces.
No, I definitely have stuff to add to that, but I'll wait till Robbie gives his 2 cents.
Uh, no, I agree. I didn't like this movie as much as I thought I was going to. I thought some parts were a slog, if that's a word.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember not liking Volume Two as much as Volume One. And I know I said I didn't really know if I like Volume One, but watching it again, I just thought it was, from start to finish, action packed. There was some points in this movie where I was like, all right, like Michael Madsen, we get it.
yeah.
Take a hike. But there was just, yeah. I didn't like the pacing of the movie. I didn't enjoy it as much. It didn't really capture my attention. Uh, so yeah, it was a tough watch for me. I was a little bit disappointed in this watch. That being said, my disappointment is probably an 8.7. So what the hell do I know?
Yeah, no, I agree with the both of you guys. I don't think I'll go as far as how disappointed the both of you were, but it feels I don't understand how all the fun stuff that was there that captured your attention in part one, like kind of went away from it in the second part. And I get it, you need to land the plane and like get really into the relationship between um the bride and Bill in this movie, but there like I gushed over the animation scene. I feel like Oren Ishii probably one of the best characters between the whole two films. So not having her in it and her story, I think dragged it down a little bit.
Think we lost
But
Robbie, but we'll keep
yeah.
going.
Um yeah, it definitely felt a little sloggy in some parts, but did I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I was just so excited after the first one that I think maybe I got my hopes up a little too much going into the second one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just generally not as like I don't know. Here's well, I'll save this for later, but I have a question to discuss. But let's do scores and then we'll start actually talking about the scenes and characters and stuff like that. So, does anyone want to score first?
I could score first. I'm gonna go with 8.8. I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the story. I thought that again, everybody played their parts amazingly well, but it was just lacking that edge of my seat that I had in the first movie. Obviously, fantastic directing, music good, not as good as the first one. It just felt like everything was a step down from the last movie, but I still enjoyed it, and I still enjoyed the story beginning to end. Um, but yeah, this one definitely didn't grip me like the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, harken back to what you said last week about should this movie have been, could this movie or should this movie have been just one movie? And I think after seeing two, I think it should have been one movie. Um, I think I remember even like in the back of the day, I was like, I don't really think I needed two parts to this movie because I don't know, you could have cut so much out, I feel like, of volume two and made it better or just condensed it into one movie. And there were just so many parts, like you said, the music was okay. I don't want to say I feel like it was lazily done because I don't think so. I don't think that's something that Quentin Tarantino would do, just, go through the motions and make a movie. But it was a tough watch, and it's definitely probably this and then Hateful Eight as my least two favorite Tarantino movies. So, but I almost saw Hateful Eight one time, but what do I know? But I don't think I consider that again. So I haven't watched Death Proof or anything like that, so I'm excluding that.
I would, we should watch Hateful Eight because I want you to watch it again because I thought that the first time I watched it, and then after I watched it again, I was like, I was an idiot. I love this movie.
I know I feel like I need to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood again as well. I watched that one time. I'm catching some reels on YouTube every and now and again, and there's some good acting in that movie, and maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I think I fell asleep. It was late. Your boy's tired. He gets tired.
You work hard, you sleep hard.
That's it. Work hard, sleep hard, play hard.
But no,
What was
same
your
thing
score,
with
Robbie?
Once Upon a Time. The first time I watched it, I was like, eh,
Mm,
but I like it now.
Oh, I didn't do a score. I think I keep on cutting out every now and again, but I'm gonna go 7.7 for me.
okay.
Crazy 77s. Because there really
Um,
wasn't 88s.
no, but hey, the double number thing still kind
Yeah.
of works.
My birth
I'm
weight, sorry.
what's that?
My birth weight,
Oh,
7 pounds,
nice.
7 ounces.
Big boy.
And my penis in inches.
Ladies. Um, I'm kind of I'm close with Robbie. Like I was trying to think, and again, I don't love comparing it to other movies, but I feel like a comparison to some of the other Tarantinos is apt, and especially we watched Reservoir Dogs. So I've been thinking since I watched it, like, would I rather watch Reservoir Dogs again or this? And I would rather watch Reservoir Dogs again. So I got to score this lower than that. So I'm giving it a 7.9.
It's so hard to view this as a standalone movie because I don't know. I think my score is still high because of the entirety
Right.
of the movie. I definitely understand your guys' score. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to view this kind of as a standalone movie. I definitely get what you guys are saying, where there are some parts that were definitely a little bit to get through. I was definitely checking the clock a little bit in this movie. Um, there was a Met game on, so that might have had something to do with it, seeing when I can get back to the game. But yeah, I mean, they were just, you know, uh, I don't, I don't know how to put it into words. Like I like it a lot, but there's a lot that I feel like it left on the table.
Yeah. Well, would you, and we briefly talked about it last week, but, and I don't know if anyone even thought about it because I didn't, but what would you give this as as one movie, but both parts? Because this, I feel like this dragged the whole thing down, the second part. And I don't know if, like, maybe it was if it was edited differently, like some parts got pushed from two into one and one into two, or like, cut down or whatever, if that would make a difference. But as a standalone movie, this one is much worse than one.
Yeah.
It's still, again, enjoyable to a certain extent, but there's a lot of parts that, like Robbie said, are a slog. Parts that I was kind of like put off by some of the acting, to be honest. I was like, this is, I don't like, why is this scene even in here? This is stupid. But
I wonder why too, because obviously we talked about how they were filmed at the same time. They were obviously written at the same time. I just don't understand how the quality or the level of quality went down uh that drastically between the two movies.
I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't. Um, I just didn't enjoy this movie. Uh, yeah, the quality went down. I was expecting a little bit better because one was so good and so fast paced and so action packed, and the music was fantastic, and the cartoon sequence was awesome, and the characters were so rich. And here it was just like I don't know, like Michael Madsen annoyed me. Daryl Hannah annoyed me. Like I don't know. I just didn't enjoy their characters. It just felt different. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't something that was clicking with me.
I think he tried so hard to establish the relationship between Bill and the bride in this movie that that was kind of the stuff that dragged it down a little bit because there was just so much of that. It's like, all right, we get it. I don't necessarily need to be beaten over the head with it. Maybe if you gave me a little bit more of that in the first one and split that story up a little bit between the two, but I think his whole point was to save this stuff for the second part. That's just kind of my thought on it. That's maybe what made it so slow.
Yeah. Maybe it was like, so we know a lot of movies film way more than is shown in the um after the editor gets to it. So maybe this was like as a quote unquote perfect film, or the cut that Tarantino or whoever wanted was like 3.5. So they were like, that's kind of long for one movie. Like maybe we split it into two, and they got to put a lot of bloat into two to like lengthen it or something. Whereas if they made it one film, maybe it would have been like long. But I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's too much like bloat, and it needed to be edited differently, or stuff just needed to be straight cut out.
Well, I think that maybe you flip the run times for this movie. That the volume one goes about 220 and this one goes 140. I think that would have made it better. You could have cut
Yeah,
so much out of it and you could have added so much more to volume one, gave some more characters, you know, some more room to work with. Maybe we get, we gave Fox something like that. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. What the hell do I know? I'm a fucking bozo. So what do I
Yeah.
know?
I wonder, I kind of wonder too now, like if it would have been different because I think now 3 hour, a little bit longer than 3 hour movies are a little bit more
Accepted.
not mainstream, yeah, accepted these days as opposed to 2004 where that really wasn't happening as much as it is now. Um, because yeah, I agree with Robbie. You probably could have cut a bunch of stuff and made this a tight, quote unquote, 3 hours. Um, and it would have been better off that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a tight 3 hour standalone movie would have been much better than what we got split into two. I think you continue with the entire, don't change anything from, you know, volume one, maybe add a little bit more, but and then cut a little bit out of volume two. And I think it would have been a nice 245, 3 hour movie. And then leave it like that.
Yeah. Um, all right. Should we get into some scenes and characters? What do you guys feel like doing first?
Robbie, what do you want to do?
Uh, we can go characters first.
All right.
Sounds like there was a lot.
Would you like to go first with favorite characters, Robbie?
I'll go, yeah, actually, please, because the
Go
guy
ahead.
stole like he always does, like the man always does every episode, steals my name caption on purpose. Um, I know he does it on purpose because I
I
know
did
he's
it on
probably
purpose.
he's clocking me. I think there's a camera in here, something that he sees. But I'm gonna go Pai Mei as my favorite character. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I loved him when I first watched it. I wish I had facial hair as long as his so I can just do these flips every time Benny pisses me off. Uh, but no, he was the most richly created character in the movie. He had so much, you know, I don't want to say depth, but he had so much character, I guess, and I just enjoyed every time he was on the screen. I enjoyed every interaction he had with the bride, Uma Thurman. Um, he was like I said, he was my favorite character the first time I watched the movie, and he's my favorite character on my rewatch. I just enjoyed everything about him. I love his subtle jabs at her. I love when he threw the bowl of rice, because she wasn't eating it with the chopsticks. I loved his fantastic martial arts skills, and he just brought so much to the movie that I think was lacking in some characters, and I wish he was on screen a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. The movie could have used a couple more characters like that to kind of keep you, you know, laughing a little bit.
And I think that's what made one so much better because they did have these little side characters like Oshi Ren's, I hope that's right. Like her little posse that she had there. Like they had little parts, but they were all intriguing and all brought something to the movie. Here you were like strapped with like five characters and Bud's creepy dude with the casket over there. Like I don't know, it lacks some depth in characters. And like you said, Benny, I agree. You could have used some uh comedic levity to balance out the movie a little bit. They don't have to be so serious the entire time. And I thought that's what my main man Pai Mei did.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Um, I'm gonna go. I know he annoyed you, Robbie, but I like him. I'm gonna go with Bud, Michael Madsen. Also because there's not a lot to choose from in this movie, and like some of the other characters did also annoyed me. So I'm gonna go Bud. Like there's a couple scenes. I mean, just he he's a loser, but he's not like the fact that he's just like so grimy, like his house or his trailer was just disgusting. And like it was intriguing that, you know, Al killed him with the snake. And I don't know, he's got his Hattori Hanzo sword in his golf club bag. Like, I don't know, just like little stupid things like made me like him, I guess. But yeah, his character was overall kind of I guess. Would have liked a little, I don't know. Like I like Michael Madsen, like as an actor. Like a lot of the things that he's done I really like, but this character and a lot of the character, not a lot, but a couple of the characters fell a little flat for me generally, but I still did like him the best, I would say, out of the characters. Besides, I would have picked Pai Mei as well.
He almost has like a little bit of like redeeming qualities underneath, but like
Yeah,
not really. Like he definitely like understands Beatrix and like knows how messed up it is.
yeah.
Uh,
Like we deserve to die. Of
yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, he's out for himself. So
course.
even though he has that little redeeming thought in his head, he's always gonna look out for number one.
Yeah. I love his
Um,
voice too, just in general.
he almost looked like I was getting like Brett Michaels vibes from him in this movie. Like late Brett Michaels, like when he had the reality show and everything. Just Mr. Botox himself. My favorite character, again, another one that annoyed Robbie, but Daryl Hannah as L Driver. I think I liked her scene a lot in this movie. I liked the little details. Again, her character had the little details that I like. I liked, her looking through, it's pre-smartphone. So she's got all of her notes on the Black Mamba spider in the notepad, all written
Yeah.
down meticulously. Um, I like her demeanor in that scene. I thought she killed it in that scene. And then obviously once Beatrix gets in and shit hits the fan, just the two of them going back and forth. I loved that fight scene with her not having enough room to get the katana out of the sheath. I love the reveal that uh, her eye was taken out by Pai Mei. And then she was the one that ultimately ends up killing Pai Mei, just like establishing her as like like, oh shit, like she's a real threat, like she, outsmarted Pai Mei. And it kind of made you think this is going to be a brutal fight between the two of them. Obviously it was, but I just feel like every time it got to like the boss fight, it ends so quick. Even when she gets to Bill, it's over in 2 seconds. When she gets to Oren Ishii, yeah, it was a good fight, but it was over kind of quick. Meanwhile, she's fighting all those dudes. It was like 45 minutes of the movie. I wanted like a huge badass, they're going nuts, busting through the trailer outside. Um, but obviously it's cool how she meets her end where, you don't know what happens to her, but she gets her other eye ripped out by Beatrix. So I loved her whole, like, even though she was only in the movie for that kind of like that one scene, I thought she kind of stole the show a little bit for me.
Question. Do you think the snake got her?
I don't know. I think eventually, maybe. I think she was causing such a ruckus at some point that the snake found its way to her and just, attacked out of, feeling threatened. Um, but it's crazy because like how no one's ever gonna find her. She's not gonna find her way out of there. So she's definitely dead. It's just how she died.
Right. Yeah, she's not, even if so, if she makes it out of that trailer,
Where's she going?
desert, and
Yeah.
she can't see anything, so she's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, any Ani mentions from anybody for favorite characters?
I mean, my main man Samuel L is in the
Yeah.
movie, so he's got to get an
That's
Ani
true.
Mensch.
That's
So
true.
I wish he had a little bit more in there, but just knowing that he was there was a redeeming factor for this movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was so shocked and surprised to see him. If not, this was a 7 too.
Um, all right. So let's do least favorite characters. Benny, you start.
Maybe controversial,
No.
but maybe David Carradine as Bill. And
Yeah, that was
just
gonna be mine.
there's so few characters to choose from. Like I thought he was good. He's a good actor. He acted the part well, but I just never felt like the threat from him, even though, he does all the he's quick with the guns with Beatrix in the hotel villa, wherever they are, the truth serum thing. I just felt like I wanted somebody a little bit more menacing. And I think they went for that. He's menacing because of the games he plays with your mind, as opposed to him actually being physically intimidating. Um, yeah, I kind of, I feel like if anybody watches this, I'm going to get heat for this take, but I don't know. I wanted somebody a little bit stronger in that role. And there's no hate on him. Uh, I think he's fantastic. I thought he was good in the role, but I just think the character itself was lacking. Especially you're spending 2 movies chasing after this guy.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like there was some scenes where he was just like hanging around.
Do something evil or something.
Yeah,
But
stop
that,
hanging
I mean,
around.
and I see what he's doing. That's the part of it too. It's like that, you know, look at how he manipulates the daughter, and the way he sets up Beatrix to walk in on that scene and how sweet he is with the daughter, even though there's kind of that evil undertone to the whole thing. That's why I think he did a good job
Yeah.
with the role because he made you feel all those things. But I just, like I said, wanted somebody a little bit more scary, maybe.
Would you have cast?
Alan Rickman.
Please.
I don't know. Maybe find out later.
Where are my
Wow.
detonators?
She shot you, mommy.
Mr. Potter. All right, anyway. Uh I also have a controversial pick. I think Beatrix. I didn't there was a number of scenes in this film with her that I was kind of like about. Um I mean, I don't want to name them all because I want to talk about them later, but like there was just like a couple scenes that were like corny to me. The beginning when she's driving in the car, like just the I don't know, like and I hate to say this because Tarantino, you know, in all his films gets such good acting. The scripts are great, like everything is so good, but I felt like in this film there was a number of scenes with her that came off to me as corny. Um, and I was just like, what? Like, why are you acting this way? Uh, I don't. The first one, like, we'll talk about more scenes later, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the bride, who was my favorite character from the first one. So, quite a interesting pick for me.
I don't know if I feel the same way as you, but the fact that we got through favorite characters and Ani mentions, and I didn't bring her up, kind of, I wonder if this was just such like a long shoot and a long movie to do that people were just like burnt out at some point.
I don't know. It just felt like some of the scenes, not all of them, but some of them were just like not that. So, like, all right, think about the scene where she gets out of the casket and she walks in to the diner. May I have a glass of water, please? And it's just like so cool and like matter of fact and like funny. And that's what I love about her in volume one and then a couple of other scenes in volume two. But then there's scenes like the when she's driving the car, the wedding scene, some of the scenes like with Bill and with her daughter, I was just like, why is it so like why is it different? Why are you acting this character like differently? I get the situations are different, but I don't know. I just some of them annoyed me or like just I didn't like.
I feel like the scene in the wedding is she's putting on this air
I know.
about her. Yeah.
They're all
Uh,
annoying, but
can you go a little bit more in depth with what you mean, maybe?
no, Benny, because I'm very surface.
No, because I'm just wondering what turned you off about it.
It just seemed like a little bit of overacting
Okay.
in a number of spots, and I kind of hate to say that because I think Uma Thurman's an amazing actor, and again, Tarantino movies and scripts are fantastic. Um, but like, yeah, like, and again, to expound upon that first scene when, and I know it's like a little quick intro of if you didn't see volume one and you're in the movie theater and you're seeing volume two, but like just the way she was like, and I'm gonna kill Bill. It
Okay.
it just it turned me off a little. But then there's other
Yeah.
scenes like that, the fight, the one where the assassin comes and she finds out that she's pregnant, and like all these other scenes that she's so great in. So I don't know if it was because maybe Tarantino said act it this way because that's the way I want it because I'm paying homage to X, or I think you should act this way in this scene because of XYZ. I don't know. And that's why, like Robbie said, I'm just a bozo and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's how I felt with a couple of her scenes in this.
Okay.
Look at you now. I agree. Uh a little corny in some parts, but like you said, maybe that's just the way he wanted it done. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. She was definitely better in one, and I mean the best in Pulp Fiction. So um my least favorite character is El Driver. There's just something about Daryl Hannah that I don't like. I don't know what I just don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it, but there could have been multiple people in this role. I mean, give me Charlize Theron, please. Forget about it. She would have destroyed it. She would have killed it. She would have murdered it. She would have been on death row after because she murdered the role. But yeah, I don't know. I can't give you some articulate, you know, phrase or a little soliloquy of why I didn't like the character. It's just something about Daryl Hannah that annoys me. I don't know what it is, but I I was so annoyed with her screaming in that scene that I wanted to rip my television off the stand and throw it like 500 yards. I just don't know what it was. But yeah, I, again, I can't give you anything specific. I just don't like her, and I didn't like her in this scene, and I didn't like her in the movie, and I wish they would have went a different way. But again, what do I know? Nothing. So
Hey, it's your
that's
show,
just one
baby.
man's that's just one man's personal opinion.
You're allowed to have your opinion.
Thank you.
It's true.
I just want it to be more, you know, a little bit better and sound more smart than just saying, I can't stand a face.
All right.
Well, I think if we ever get to like 500 subscribers on YouTube, we'll rip out one of your eyes and see how you react.
Yeah.
Let's see if the screams are as blood curdling as hers.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, we probably. I mean, please. I get a little sore throat and I'm in my
I
mommy's
know.
bed, so forget about it.
Any Ani mentions from anybody?
Yeah. The bride's husband. I mean, you like,
Dork.
all right. You guys, she's like tongue and bill down, and you just over there just being a complete dork. And that's a dork. Him and Tarantino are dorks, in different roles. But like, my man, you- get a life. And thank God he got mowed down.
Have a little self-respect.
Exactly. Like, don't let this guy Bill come in here and just run the show.
Yeah. I think, and my Ani, one of my Ani mentions is the her girlfriends in the seats. Like, but same, just overall, that almost entire scene, I was just like, what is like, why is this in the film? This is stupid. They should have started the scene when they show up outside the church and walk in and mow them down. There's no reason to have like almost any of that stuff beforehand.
Yeah, it was definitely too long. I did enjoy the part with Bill, but again, I didn't need the 10 minutes of them explaining how the wedding works and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing creeps me out more than when a husband calls his wife mother.
Oh,
Uh, that
Yeah.
annoys me to no. I can't stand it. Reminds me of my man Mike Pence. I can't stand it. It's disgusting and I hate it. Shout out Mike Pence if you're listening.
come on the
We
show.
miss you.
Yeah.
Where you been?
Tell, tell us why you certified the election.
Yeah.
Um,
Treason.
yeah. Does anyone have any other Ani mentions for least favorite?
No.
No,
Probably Bud's right hand man.
no
Who-
neck, no
Yeah,
neck Jones.
who thought he was a pussy magnet? Like he saw better. Yeah, come on, get out of here. I know pussy, sir, and you're no pussy magnet. I'll tell you that right now.
Um, oh, you know what? We forgot, at least I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back. An Ani mention for favorite character. Esteban.
Oh, please.
He was
Esteban would have
he's a
been a
piece of
good
shit,
kill.
but he was a great character,
I would have been scared of him if he was Bill.
right? I would just cut your face. All right. Do you want to do least or favorite scenes first?
Favorite.
All right. Do you want to go, Benny? Would you like me to go, or Robbie? Would you like to go?
I want you to go first, Ryan.
All right. I might be stealing someone's scene, but I'm gonna go with the fight between Elle and Beatrix in the trailer. I mean, so just I just so good. The tight quarters and like I think you said, Benny, like trying to get the sword out, couldn't do it. Um, and just I mean, I would say almost. I don't want to take other. Well, I'll save it for maybe for Ani match, but the fight with them too, like might be one of the redeeming qualities of this film. Like there's a couple other scenes that I like that maybe if you guys don't call out, I'll Ani mention it. But this is the best scene in the movie for me. It's the most exciting. And it was a fun fight just watching them trash this trailer. And then her getting her eye plucked out. I didn't love watching the eyeball get stepped on though. Not a fan of
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
that.
Yeah, I just thought that you know, there's so much that happens in that scene. Like there's so many like little reveals that happen in such a short amount of time, and it's like it contrasts the whole rest of the movie where everything else is so drawn out,
Right?
but you get the oh, he still has his Hanzo sword, and and it's there. Like I said, you get
I miss
um
stuff.
the Pai Mei stuff, and like you said, the fight just incredible. Them smashing through all the walls. I wish it could have been a little bit longer. It was so good. I totally agree with you. Robbie, why don't you give us your fave?
Um, I did have that scene because that was a great scene. I'll just go with the Pai Mei training scenes. I just enjoyed those scenes. I thought that was the most, besides the fighting, I thought that was the most intriguing parts of the movie. And like I said, I already like Pai Mei's my favorite character in the movie. I just thought it was cool. I thought everything about it was cool. I thought uh the training with them was fun. I thought the interactions with them, even just sitting down, like I said, having some rice. And I just thought it was cool when he jumped up and stood on his sword. So stay tuned for that. But that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I just love their interactions. I love a good training montage. Shout out Rocky 4. But yeah, that's me. That's my favorite scene.
I just love too how he's completely dressing her down for like 15 minutes straight, like
Yeah.
between the way she speaks. He's shitting on the Japanese because he hates the Japanese, which is funny because he played a Japanese person in the first movie. Um, and then just completely tearing her apart. And like, I thought you knew, you know nothing. Just that whole scene is just so good. He's like such a badass and such a friggin' wise ass at the same time, and he nails it. Um, Man, you guys named like obviously the best two parts of the whole entire movie. So I'll get sentimental and say I'm a sucker for a happy ending, even though I kind of hate when movies have happy endings. But give me, just Beatrix and BB at the end of the movie, hopefully starting a new life together, happy. I enjoyed her freaking out in the bathroom. That kind of, I'm sure she's thinking about all the blood that she has on her hands, the fact that, there's definitely feelings between her and Bill. And she ended up killing him, even though it's what had to be done, what she wanted to do, but you're still never gonna, there's still a part of her that obviously cared about him. And I'm a big fan of the crying, screaming, turning into maniacal laughter. I mean, Breaking Bad, say less, one of the best scenes in that show. But yeah, happy ending for me.
Fair. Any mentions from anybody?
As corny as it was, um, getting out of the casket was cool. Um,
Agree.
I enjoyed the way she was able to get out of there, and then the yet, 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 and then I enjoyed that. Uh, Benny, I thought of you. This is not in the scene, but I thought of you in the beginning of the movie when her and Bill start walking close together. You saw more feet. I was like, the cuz loves his feet. He's probably going ballistic.
I mean, 99% less feet in this movie than
That's
than
true.
the first one, so I was okay.
But this
Uh
one got an eyeball between the toes.
yeah, yeah. I didn't mind the eyeball though. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I definitely wanted to pick that scene of her getting out of the casket. I thought it was a little too short to pick it as my favorite. But it just coming out of that Paimei scene and her, I don't know, Superman punching her way out of the of the dirt. I don't know how that worked, but she got out. So that was like the only scene I think I saw from this movie is her uh doing the 1 inch punch to get out.
I gotta try it next time I see if it works.
Please, right in the sternum, stop my heart, please.
Next next time I'm in a casket.
Please don't keep me in there.
I also I mentioned it quick before. I also like the scene with the assassin at the hotel room. that she was explaining to
Oh
Bill.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. You good with that shotgun? I'm surgical with this shotgun.
Not that it matters from this distance.
Yeah. Um, that was cool. What else? Is there any other ones?
Again, like I said it has Bill as my favorite character, but I do enjoy uh Bill and Beatrix going back and forth at the end of the movie. But
Yeah.
that last fight was just so anticlimactic. It's just like, damn, 2 hours. I was expecting some type of, you know, brawl for this movie to end on. Obviously, it was cool the way that they were fighting and sitting down. You get the 5 point exploding heart punch. So that pays off, but I would have liked a little bit more. But I did enjoy the chemistry that the two of them had together, even though like when Bill was going on about Superman, Spider-Man, and Clark Kent, I was like, come on, dude, let's go. And
Yeah, land the
then
plane.
yeah, and then Miss Me with Truth Serum. I was like, really, we're doing Truth Serum in this movie? Like, come on. Not that it's like a factually accurate movie, but Truth Serum is a step too far for me.
Yeah. I did read that in one version of the script, or maybe it was scenes that were cut out, that Bill was like billed as like a master chemist. And so besides the truth serum, there was also, remember in one when Elle had the syringe that she was
Hmm.
gonna give to Beatrix, that was like something he cooked up. But I guess they kind of cut some pieces out of it, but left the truth serum part in.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Thank goodness.
But I guess
Jesus.
maybe that's why it just felt so corny, the Truth Serum. It's like, where
Yeah.
does that
Where'd that come from?
yeah, there's no buildup of like other things like that being used in the whole movie, and then all of a sudden here's like the main showdown between the two of them and Truth Serum out of nowhere. It's like, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I agree that I did also like that scene, whether it was truth serum or not. And agree that the fight was cool, and like the fact that she used the 5 point was like, what's the word I want? I can't think of a good word, but like it was important because of the story, that we
Yeah, like
talked
the
about it
Chekhov's gun
earlier.
type thing.
Right. But the fight scene itself was, yeah, like you said, kind of anticlimactic, a little too short. Whatever. Um, all right. Least favorite?
Is it me? I think it's me.
I think it's you.
Is it?
Um, yeah, give me the wedding rehearsal scene up until Bill gets there. I mean, it's just that was the one. Everything was like stretched out so much exposition dumped that didn't need to be there, but and all of those things, like you can at least understand, like they're trying to hammer this point home of how much her and Bill have history and all the stuff behind it. Whereas, between mother and father and, the husband, I don't really know what they were trying to get at other than kind of like establishing the friend group and that she had no family that was coming. And that could have easily been explained in like 2 sentences and it didn't need to be like 7 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Um, my least favorite scene, I think, is actually your favorite scene, Benny, and it's the end. I felt like the end should have been when Beatrix and BB are walking out of the villa. Wrap
And
it up
that's it.
there. We
Yeah.
didn't need, like, granted, I understand what you're saying. Like, you know, I think we've all cried on a bathroom floor before, so I get it.
We did it
But
right before we started.
yeah, oh, I mean, always I gotta get ready. Um, but we didn't need literally any of that. I felt
Yeah.
like it didn't add anything to, we saw them watching TV more. We saw her crying. Like, yeah, we know she was upset. We know she was conflicted about the whole thing. And then like a little bit more of her and BB, and like that's it. Like I remember when I was watching the end, I was like, I didn't remember. I was like, that's it? That's the end? Like, come on now. Whatever.
Yeah. I think I was more happy that there just was a happy ending as opposed to like maybe the way that they landed that plane, but I definitely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all that there was a happy ending. That's totally fine, but the happy ending could have been her leaving with BB in
Yeah.
her arms. That would have been a completely satisfactory happy ending. Like it
Fair
felt
point.
like that was just an add-on. They were like, "Oh, we filmed this. We'll
Why though?
show it."
Why did we film this?
Yeah, Robbie. I
Robbie, can you hear us?
think we lost them.
I think we lost him. Yeah, he's frozen.
Oh,
Well,
anyway,
Ryan, what should we do now?
I
Now we're,
don't
we're
know.
just up Shit's Creek. We can have him come back in.
I
All
was
right,
gonna
let's
say
do.
let's do Samani Menches, but I don't want to steal his.
Yeah,
Oh,
there he
there
is.
he is. He's
Can you
back.
hear us? Doesn't look like he can hear us.
I don't know what's going on my internet. Uh,
Can you hear
okay,
us though?
I can hear you. Ottoman, you can suck my balls. All right, how about that?
The hell did I do? Do I look like
Optimum.
James Dolan? Oh,
Oh
I thought
yeah,
you said
sorry. No, Optimum, sorry. Cablevision. Can you hear me?
I can
Yes.
hear you now. Yeah.
Uh, I guess my least favorite scene is also one of my favorite scenes. It was the fight between uh the bride, Uma Thurman, and L Driver. It wasn't because of the scene. I loved it. Just the blood curdling screaming really got me going, and I just couldn't take it. And I had to exit the facilities after a while because it was really driving me a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So that's really it. Just a preference of me being an absolute wackadoo that the screaming just annoyed my brain cells.
That's fair.
Fair
It
enough.
was annoying.
My man, what can I say? I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, things affect me.
Any Ani Menches?
No, I really don't have too many. Like it's weird. Like all these scenes that I like, there are things about them that I don't like. So it's not necessarily that I have least favorite scenes. I just have least favorite parts of scenes.
Right. Yeah, like you said, the coffin scene is great, but then her like floating through the dirt was kind of weird.
Yeah.
They shook like AJ Styles' hand at the end of the death match, man.
The boneyard match.
Yeah. Uh, so that was a little much, but I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do it every week. What do we think we would have done or could do to make this movie better? I mean, I think we kind of are, I assume, are going to be in a little bit of agreement, but maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I think I would go at least at the very least, if we're just talking about this one movie, is make it shorter and cut out a lot of the exposition just because I don't think, you've established how much of a warpath she's on in the first movie that you only need a little bit in the second movie to explain exactly why. And they just went so long with all the exposition that it made the movie drag.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, I don't even feel like they tried to make Bill like a sympathetic character, but it was like, all right, we get it. He's gaslighting, he's manipulating, he's doing all these things. He's an absolute lunatic, and she falls for it. They do love each other, we get it, but like, I don't need I don't need 2.5 hours of it.
Um, yeah, I think agreed. Well, I do have a way to make this movie better, and that is by working overtime and casting Matt Damon. So, for some reason, we cast Matt Damon in a role that we either invent or exists already, because we love Matt Damon and we want to see him get more work. I mean, he needs more work. He's not in enough things.
Very true.
So, would anyone like to go first?
You want to lead us off?
Sure. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and cast a bloated, mulleted, cowboy hat wearing Matt Damon. Still hot, but all those three things. As Bud. I mean, again, I like Michael Madsen, but I feel like Matt Damon could have brought just like a little pizzazz to that role and maybe made it like a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Matt Damon as Bud.
Nice.
Bud.
Bud Damon.
Robbie, first or second?
Okay, you can give me a long, lean, mean sword swatting machine, wig wearing, clean facial hair wearing. Give me Matt Damon as L Driver. Please forget about it. Let me tell you something right now. Give me Matt Damon in a cross dress and shout out the birdcage. Just give me Matt Damon looking like $1 million with long, blonde, luscious locks, like he was in that weird movie where he was like fighting against the Great Wall of China. I don't know, I forgot that weird movie he was in, or the one with Ben Affleck in the medieval times. But just give me Matt Damon as a beautiful, luscious locked, long haired, cross dressing L Drive. I mean, forget about it. If you think Matt Damon looks good as a man, please forget about the plums exploding as you what it looks like as a woman. Forget about it. I just thought he would have brought so much depth to the character. He probably wouldn't have screamed. When his eye came, got ripped out, he probably just took it like a man because that's what he is. He's a man. He's the best. So yeah, give me Matt Damon as L Drive. I mean, please, the movie would have been 76 out of 10.
76 out of 10. Oof, that would have been your highest score.
Yeah.
Oh, please shout out Joel B.
give me, give me an insanely shredded, a long hair having, grizzled, sword wielding Matt Damon as Bill. I mean, I alluded to it earlier, but I don't think I've ever seen like a truly evil Matt Damon. Even maybe Departed was probably the evilest I've seen him, but he still tried to have a little bit of charisma, and he was you know trying to fool people that he was a nice guy. But I want a truly psychotic Matt Damon as Bill, more psychotic than David Carradine is in this movie, and just really scaring the shit out of you. And please add in a sex scene with Beatrix and Bill. Then, oh my God, please. I
Oh
mean,
God.
his
Oh,
abs, her feet. What more can you ask for? They could have kept the runtime the same, and I would have been very happy. Give me Matt Damon as Bill, please.
oh,
Love it.
forget about it. Please forget about it.
His abs, her feet.
Tarantino would have exploded on set if that was the
I
case.
know.
Completely self-combusted.
So, is there anything else we need to say about Kill Bill Volume 2 or I don't know, Kill Bill in general, both volumes?
I think overall, I give it a 9, like beginning to end. Maybe if I watched this again, I would have felt a little bit more disappointed in having to sit through the whole thing. But just taking the whole story, even though I knew the beats of what happened, taking it in, for the first time, beginning to end, I did enjoy the ride. Um, but yeah, it's really hard to beat the first part, and it had my hopes sky high for the second one. And even though it disappointed a little bit, I really did enjoy the whole story.
Yeah. I I think I'd probably go, I don't know, like 8.6-ish, somewhere in there. Like I'd love to know, and maybe I should have done some research before the show. But I wonder if there's like a fan edit out there or something like that that like cut some stuff out or like we said before, like maybe shifted some things around. So like um maybe like put Oren a little bit in like the second half or some I don't know, something someone smarter than me thought of. But yeah, there's just I don't know. One is so good and two is not bad. It's just not great. It's such a shame.
Do you guys remember any type of like reaction to the second one?
Not really. That's what I was trying to think. Like,
No.
and even like Robbie, I think you said it before too. Like my memory, I didn't remember that I didn't really like this, and I don't know if like I truly didn't enjoy it. But I will say this, and maybe this is telling. I watched Volume One way more times than Volume Two. Well, Volume Two I've only seen maybe like 5 times, whereas Volume One I've watched like 20. So maybe I should have thought of that.
Yeah, I'm not watching Volume 2 ever again. So that's done for me. Ryan, I think there is a fan edit I can send you. Uh, but it's something, the name's a little different. It's called Phil Bill. So I don't know if you want to see that one, but I can give you the edit.
Please send it my way.
Check
I hope
check your inbox.
I hope
Can't
there's
wait.
more than two parts to that.
It's a trilogy.
Thank God.
3 hours each.
IMDb has these movies close. It has
I know.
one at 8.2 and two at 8.0. But yeah,
I don't get it. Like,
Uh
I feel like I want someone smart to tell me why I should like Volume Two. Not that I would say like completely change my opinion, but like I'm just curious like what someone who really enjoys this film thinks and why they really enjoy it. Are they like again like riding the high of Volume One and are okay with this? I don't know.
I would like to hear from people too. If I had one wish in life, it's to hear from people that listen to the show.
if I had one wish in life, it would be to cease human interaction with me. So
Me personally or
if people,
everybody?
no, just everybody in general.
Okay, good.
Uh, I'd probably go 8.4 as a whole. Uh, it's just I didn't like um Kill Bill Volume 2, so it kind of soured on me. I don't know if I'm frozen. I don't know if anybody can hear me,
I can still
but
hear you.
I see two frozen faces. So again, shout out Cablevision.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's end this before he completely freezes.
Oh, he's back.
Hey,
Yeah. No, I
It's a
don't know.
disaster. Did you hear what did you hear anything I said?
Yeah.
everything.
No, we heard everything.
Bristol.
I mean, it's the same. It doesn't really matter. I get the same reaction when I talk from the both these anyway. Frozen faces.
Get out of here.
That's not right. Maybe if you weren't looking down at your balls the whole time, you'd see our faces.
I gotta adjust. I've had an issue since first grade touching myself. So please, the call's home that my mother received. Please forget about it.
They called him Bobby Big Balls.
Please forget about it.
Sticky Dick Robbie.
Bobby Elephantitis.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Please, like, I mean, Benny wants human interaction. Robbie does not. I'll be the tiebreaker and say, please send us an email. Uh, it's in the show notes. Fucking do it, please.
Let me be clear though. I want human interaction on my terms.
Oh,
So,
yeah, of course. I
so
want
you
everything on my terms.
yeah, you'll hear back from me when I'm ready.
And then we're asking for people to talk to us, like people in our lives are gonna when we're the worst. Why would I
Like
email
people,
them? They don't talk to me generally.
That's why we need people that don't know us and don't know that we're assholes to write to us.
We're not assholes. We're nice.
No, I know. I am, but maybe not you guys.
no, I mean, I might be.
Wow. A little. We're all a little bit. I think Robbie's frozen again. Robbie, are you? No, he's back.
He's good.
All right. Let's wrap this up before Cablevision explodes the whole episode. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night to the bride. If I met you 40 years ago, you'd be my number one lady.
He was so good.
Good night, Pai Mei.